Hi, this is a bit of an impromptu video. First I have to apologise the way I look. I've got a chest infection and I've been quite run down lately and depressed. The usual. The reason for this conversation is really, I noticed this kind of fad on YouTube, people using YouTube as a way of saying, well, I need to buy games, or I need to buy toys, I need to buy statues, or I need to buy hot toys, or very specialist items to keep my subscriptions up on YouTube. Not me personally, but I watch a lot of videos and I subscribe to a lot of channels. So their content's great. Whether I'd subscribe to Jeb24 for my gaming. She's the only one I really subscribe to, but she gets quite upworked about certain items in the gaming community, and but also toy collecting, which has been my downfall for the last 15 years really. It started off as a nice hobby. It started off in the right direction actually. Looking back, it was more to do with nostalgia. So I was only collecting like 1960s, late 60s, early 70s toys. And then I get depressed and I sell them. But these were really quality items, not I would say like museum, good boxes, and you can't hardly get them now in the condition I had them then. Because like 15 years ago, you could pick up, quite good bargains. And that was where my era was. So obviously I'm not a young 28-year-old collector or 30-year-old collector, though I have collected a lot in the last 15 years. And the reason of this video is people get hyped up about buying just for like a drug. It doesn't make it right to say, I was a drug addict, or I was an alcoholic, or, I was abused as a child, or I had mental abuse as a child. Any excuse, though they're horrific things that happen to you in your life, and then fill it up with another drug, which is toy collecting or statue collecting or game collecting. Why does anyone need, a sealed game and then an unsealed game and then a loose game of the same game? Or why do you need to buy two very expensive figures, one to open and one to keep sealed? And then when does it stop becoming nostalgia and then it becomes an addiction? Now, I have crossed that line. I've nearly been bankrupt twice. And luckily, my wife stood by me. She hasn't said, I want a divorce or anything, which she could have I could have quite understood. She suffered now because obviously I had to dip into her money. She works hard, deserves, the benefits of that. And it's not just me. And if people believe that, then they're fooling themselves, because if you're putting your collecting before people who are important to you, like your family, like your kids going out for a meal, or going on holiday, or anything they needed for school, and they're wearing like raggedy clothes just so you can fund your fascination with toys, that gets to a point where it's something you've got no connection to whatsoever. You're just buying it because you can. And that's what this video is about, really. It's about, you know, especially to the younger collector, just remember in 20 years' time, what you're going to do with these items. Your mindset's going to be complete. You might turn around now and say, no, it's not going to be different. I'm always going to be the same to the day I die. It's an absolute lie to yourself. You know, your family's first. So it doesn't matter if you flip toys to buy your other toys. You know, it gets to the point where you'll have either nothing left, or you will have a collection that you didn't even start off wanting to buy. You know, for example, my hero was Action Man, $6 Million Man. You know, though I didn't have a lot of toys relating to these things, they're the ones I've got the strongest bond to. But I don't need 17 different $6 Million Mans or 17 different Action Man to say, you know, that was important to me. You have to consider what you remember playing with, or what you remember having, and try to stick to it. If you can't do that, you are going to get into some serious trouble down the line. I know people will be laughing at this video, but I don't care, because I'm trying to say, if I can save one person from making the same stupid mistakes I have, when I watch these videos and they go, oh, I could buy that. Oh, it's twice as much it was there. You didn't want it in the first place because you didn't buy it when it was cheaper. So don't buy it. If you were into Star Wars and you were into vintage Star Wars, don't bother about all the other crappy Star Wars toys that have come out since. It doesn't matter. You need to have some physical nostalgia or mental nostalgia connection to your collection, because it will get out of control and will become so expensive, and you will be paying for it. I mean, I want people, I don't know if any of the people who I subscribe to subscribe back to me. If you're out of control of knowing what you want to buy, and you have no connection to that item, my biggest advice I can give you is narrow down your collection. Really decide. You need to sit down, because your family is losing out. They don't want to go on toy trips when they go on holiday. They don't want to go, you know, into your local town, going around toys all the time. They do that because they love you. Or they do that because, you know, they got to the point where they've gone, you know, I can't be bothered arguing with them. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It works. Believe me, your partner suffers. You know, my wife had a thing with handbags. She's cut down now. You know, you got to buy what you like, but within some connection to you. Not just for the sake of, oh, it's a deluxe version of the same figure you've already got. The only people who are benefiting from you having that theory, yeah, are the toy manufacturers. Because they're laughing their socks off, because they know some Burke is going to go out and spend 150 quid on a plastic figure that they know they don't need, but because they put exclusive on it, that they got to buy it and add it to the collection. Some of the best collections on YouTube are ones where people have stuck to the age of where they collected. And, like, you know, in hindsight, I would never have gone through this again, because it's just mentally making me sick. Now I'm trying to sell bits to pay off other loans to make my life and my family's life just a bit more enjoyable. So please share this video if you can. I don't care if I get bad comments. If I can help one collector, even just just to change the way they collect. I'm not saying never collect. I'm never going to stop collecting, but you have to narrow it down to areas that you got some interest into it. Not because the latest films come out and they bring out 15 varieties of toys. So I know it's gone on for a bit. I've tried to keep it calm, and but I wanted to get this video out. I'm not feeling very well, but it was a good time to do it because, you know, I'm watching a lot of people spending a lot of money that could be spent on other things. You know, as I say, there's a market for your collection. To me now, I'm collecting little statues of like Camberwick Green, and which was very big in the UK. You know, they're not that expensive. 10 quid. So I can afford that each month. I could say, right, one for day. You know, not spend £250 on stuff that I'm probably going to sell in a couple of months. So, you know, please consider what I'm saying. Don't think it as a lecture, but just think it as someone saying, you know, I've been at rock bottom with this. So, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in a more happier next video.